And so the question we look at is not what is the most powerful thing related to burnout, because that's probably workload. And often there's few options for really reducing people's workload. That isn't the most available thing for a manager to change. But these other aspects, the question is, what can you change? And can you change person's sense of control? Can you really get a person to have a better sense of feeling of control over when they do their work, how they do the work, with whom they do their work? Can you increase control? Or can you improve community? That's something I've worked on a lot. We've sort of developed an intervention process that's I liken to doing family therapy with work groups. You go in and you find that there are strained relationships. They're not deadly or anything. It's just some people, they're feeling just lonely. They're feeling unsupported. People are just taking them for granted. They say good morning and nobody really responds in any kind of cheerful way. People really want to belong to a work group that cherishes them. They really do. They want to be valued. I want these people to like me. That's who I'm spending my days with. And so what you find is that you don't have to eliminate all the little rudenesses. People will be rude and inconsiderate and self-absorbed some of the time, not just life. But you can make the positive interactions surrounding that to be much more prevalent. And if you can improve that community and move people away from being rude and towards being more appreciative and acknowledging of each other, that's going to push people away from burnout and pull them over towards being more engaged in their work. Because that social dynamic is very powerful. People who are experiencing burnout, we ask them, what's your relationships with other people? And they're saying, people are rude to me all the time. Some people are just really bullying me. But they're also saying, and I'm pretty rude to other people too, because I don't have any energy to put up with these idiots. Okay, so you find that you end up with a social dynamic when people are really feeling burnt out that's really strained, both giving and receiving. If you can go in and change that, move things for the better, that's another approach that you could use that would, but all those have to be real interventions. You can't just pretend to give people more control over their work and not really. People are smart enough to know when they have that. You've got to make any of those areas of work-life values, fairness, rewards, any of those, if you work on any of those, they're going to have a beneficial effect. Now, some of them are going to be more powerful in one setting than another, but you've got all these options, and you got to know your people. You got to give your frontline supervisors the capacity to make some adjustments with people. You can't say everybody's got to be treated exactly the same. That's not going to get you very far. They've got to have the capacity to say, okay, we can come up with a better solution for you about how you do your work in this kind of setting. That kind of idea. And then you can start getting to where these more people and more diverse kind of workforce can find good relationships with their workplace.